Okay, so listen. Now, the only time I really eat fast food is like every now and then. If I do eat fast food now, it'll be Arby's. Cause I talk about that Arby's 2 for $6 all the time. For me, I'm 22 pounds down. So I ain't gonna lie, I want to lose a solid 100. But every now and then, if I go to McDonald's, I may get like a small cappuccino or something like that, like nothing major, right? So it's like pretty close to, I think it was already late at night, so I really shouldn't have been eating no junk, no way. But still, it was no excuse for what happened at McDonald's, right? So at that point, I placed a mobile order. It's like at 10:57, right? So I'm only just up the street from McDonald's anyway. So at that point, I make it there at 10:59. I get there, there's some cars ahead of me, no big deal. Okay, so at that point, I pull up. The car that was in front of me pulled away, and I said, okay, well, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's going on. You know, maybe they just didn't have what she wanted, or you just never know. I wasn't really studying her no way. I'm just gonna tell the truth. Hold on. I know it's loud. I already know. You ain't gotta tell me. I already know. My husband picking me all the time. But anyway, so she pulled off. I pull up, and the girl, the speaker ain't saying nothing. She mute. Okay, so then there's another guy who pulled up, and I never forget, he was in a gray car, and he pulled up. He was at the window just fussing. So I'm just sitting up there, and he looked up at me. I look up at him. He looked up at me. I look up at him, and he was talking to, like, you know, to me it could have been a girlfriend. I don't know. I mean, he was on the phone with a lady, and he was like, I thought you told me that McDonald's was still open at this time, da da da. And she was like, yes it is. And then at some point they got to talking, and at first, the way he was looking at the menu, I thought that maybe, you know, the employee had came to the window and, you know, started doing the orders and stuff. Nothing. Now at this point, he he blowing. So he frustrated, he hungry, probably just got off work and all that. And so I looked at him again. He looking at the menu all disappointed. So I drove off. Cause she wasn't coming to me, she wasn't coming to him. I drove off, okay? So I wasn't tripping off of it because I had a mobile order, so it wasn't no big deal for me, right? Wrong. So I pull up and I look up. This heifer ignoring everybody because she counting down her register. Mind you, this McDonald's here closed at midnight because it was the 24/7 stuff was a big mess here. Okay, so I'm already looking like, dang, you know you don't eat no McDonald's, and you know every now and then you come here, if you get something different from a Frappuccino, it's always a problem. It's either gonna be an issue with your order, or you're gonna be dealing with somebody who got an attitude. So at that point, I just said, okay, whatever. I said, now I let some things right. That one thing that happened to me, and there was a separate incident, and I shouldn't have let it ride. But I'm gonna say to this story here. So at that point, I said, okay. Ooh, excuse me, child. Woo. So I said, okay. So finally, I pull up, like I say, oh girl, counting down her money. I'm looking at her, and the dude behind me, he done rolled around. He blowing. She looking at me. She done said something slick out her little earpiece or whatever, because she had an earbud on. So I knew she thought it was me. So I'm looking at her like, you know, I'm just going to wait it out because it looked like she had already, you know, was almost through counting the money. So I just said, you know, this sucks, but whatever. I just let her know, hey, I got a mobile order, so you could go, you know, do what you do. I don't know. So I don't know. I don't work there. I never worked at McDonald's. I don't know. So at that point, after the girl got through counting her money, I'm thinking, wait a minute, you counting out your money. Ain't your man supposed to be standing there? I mean, you got a customer, you're going to have to do something. Or at least get management to come to the window, holler at management or somebody else, something. Okay? Because they weren't telling nobody it was closed. They were just ignoring everybody. So at that point, mind you, I told you, dude back there, bum, 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 bum. Then whoever it was, it could have been her, the girl at the window, or it could have been another employee that said, boop, shut off all the lights besides inside. So I'm looking like, I don't care how many lights y'all shut off, Negro, I done paid for my food. Y'all finna cough up something, and it better be sanitary. So at that point, cause you know some of these kids is just nasty. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Some of them do, and I'm gonna give you the second story in a minute, and it'll explain why I said it. So at that point, the woman ignored me. So at that point, I just pulled up to the second window. I said, now you walking out, I'm gonna pull up too. You know what I mean? If I could see, if they had windows all over everywhere she would, I probably would have drove my truck all the way around. I ain't lying. So at that point, I'm just joking though. But at that point, I was like, okay, now wait a minute. I know I ain't got to knock on the window. So I'm knocking on the window. They ignoring me. So finally, the dude I told you is behind me. He had hollered to the point where some little boy came to the window. They was having a discussion. I look back. I'm like, sir, sir, sir. And I shouldn't address a little boy as sir, no way. And he ignored me. I said, you know what? See, what they don't know about Mo is I am the very wrong person to ignore. Now, if I'm being ignorant, which I don't do, and you ignore me, that's fine. But you ain't just gonna be acting like I'm not around. You're not gonna do that. I'm not gonna let you do it. Okay? So at that point, I said, okay, cool. I'm knocking on the window. Finally, apparently this was some kind of joke or something. Cause when the girl from the first one came to the second one, she laughing, and I'm looking like I don't really act the fool. Because I don't want nobody doing nothing to my food or drink or anything. So I just always try to keep it cute with people because it's some dirty folks in this world, and that's just what it is. So at that point, she comes to the window. She asked me what my order is, and I'm looking like, even if y'all was trying to close, y'all had a mobile order. So you know that out of all these cars y'all done seen pull off, if you got two people sitting there, one of them got a mobile order. Did y'all just shut everything down on the inside too? What is this? Mind you, I ain't tripped. She come to the window. I said, okay. I said, all I had was a mobile orders, large fries, and I said, lights out. And I said I had one of those small burgers. Okay. So she said, I can give you the large fries, but I can't give you the burger because we out of meat. So many things I could have said in that moment, but I said, nah, okay, I'm not going to even do that. I'm just going to say, okay, I'm going to take the fries. At this point, I mean, a little burger with just a little dollar or something, but, you know, it's a principle of the fact that, okay, boom, it's your money, and you only got part of your order. So I said, I'm not going to go back and forth. It's already understood that these kids done put all this stuff up, and they clean, and they finna go home. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take the fries, but corporate going to hear about this. So I went home, boom. By the time I made it back home, come to find out it wasn't even 11:10, 11:15 yet. Them folks should even been shutting down. Okay, so mind you, I wasn't really tripping off sitting there. Cause when you go to fast food, you gonna have to sit there. But it was the fact that they was all wrong on the inside. See, look, these little story time be funny but to y'all, but sometimes I get sick and tired of going through stuff. I ain't gonna lie. So at that point, I just said, okay, I booked it back home. I get my food. The fries was hot and fresh, but I ain't got no meat. What you mean? So at that point, I said, okay, cool. I had me a little. What I have? My husband then went to a picnic, so I had like a little hot dog or whatever. So I just ate that with the fries. I mean, you know, it was nothing because, like I say, I cooked today, but you know, all that food was gone. So, and plus, I didn't really eat nothing but a piece of meat and some. It was a red beans and rice, but you know, like I say, I ain't fond of red beans and rice. I can do without that. But I don't like it. I'm just gonna say it. I don't like it. So at that point, my head is a mess, child. So at that point, I was like, okay, I'ma just take it home. I took it home. Fries were fresh, salty. So at that point, I said, you know what? I'm sick of dealing with these kids, cause every now and then I come to this restaurant, every single time it's always a negative experience. So it was like, mind you, the other story I told y'all gonna tell. So I was getting ready to go on a road trip, and or did I come back from a road trip? Oh no, I was back from the road trip. So I said, okay, I'm gonna eat something light. This was like a couple of years ago. I said I'm gonna eat something light. I'm gonna just get me like a 4-piece McNugget or something like that, and you know, just something. I could drink water or get me a little small soda. You know, nothing major, right? I gets there and boom, 4 nuggets, right? That's all I ordered. It was 3 in there, so I went back. So when I went back, I come to the window and the girl had a whole attitude. This had nothing to do with her. You taking the money and the orders, right? So I pulled back up and she was like, what you want? I said, what I want? She was like, yeah. I said, alright. Once again, I don't want y'all put those sugar in my food. So at that point I said, I'm gonna be chill. But there was another restaurant says you would have got the business playing with me. Trust me. One thing about me is that I don't start no mess with nobody. That's just who I am. But no smart mouth little girl, I would check you in a minute. Because I didn't do that when I was that age. I did not do that. Especially to an adult. So at that point, She got a little attitude. And I said, well, my order wrong. And I come back to correct it. So she said, oh, I don't know if I had called before I had talked to them, or I don't know, because it was like, I don't know, somehow she had already known my order was jacked up. So I guess maybe another staff member had told her. Man, I know it sounds loud. I'm sorry about that. I do apologize. It's been like this all my life. So she go, oh, your order. Okay, well, pull up then. I said, oh, pull up. Okay, gotcha. Okay. So I get there, and the second one to pull up, she tried to hand me somebody else's order, and I said, no ma'am, I said, it's not mine. I just got to get my order corrected with my little nuggets or whatever. So, you know, when your order wrong like that, they let you keep your little nuggets and they make you fresh nuggets. So I'm sitting up there waiting or whatever, and it took a minute. I mean, you could hear them dropping them and everything. So I said, okay, cool. Well, the only problem with that was the people behind me that had that food ready. And y'all know how McDonald's is. 30 seconds later, that food already cold. So I'm thinking, is the girl going to tell me to pull up or whatever? Because these people order already ready. And if you got fries in it, depending on where they got to drive, that food going to be ice cold. Okay? So I didn't worry about it. I just said, well, forget about it. So I said, at that point, if that person got a problem with their order, drive back around or go in and make them fix you fresh food. Because that girl been working there long enough to know you don't have people sitting there waiting and you got food already ready to go. So anyway, so we get to the point where I got to look at something, said, look at that little girl. And you know me, I was trying not to look and stare or whatever. Some kid telling me, look at that little girl. Look at her. So I'm looking at the little girl, and she laughing, talking, he bouncing around, ha ha ha. And I look up, and baby girl got her nails done. I saw her nails is cute, it was sport length or whatever. And I look up, boom, they dead in her mouth. She sitting there eating and chewing her nails. I said, I know she not finna touch my bag after she had slobbed all over her fingers like a baby. I know this. I know it. So at that point, I said, so I'm looking at him. And I'm looking at her. And she ha is chewing her fingers. Baby. She touched my bag with that same hand. Good God Almighty. I could have left my skin. I said, man, I said, look at little spit stain on my bag. I said, you been chewing your nails, sweetheart. So at that point, I said, okay. And then I think I had an incident prior to that. I think where I did film it, but I didn't upload it to YouTube or nothing like that. At the time prior, I remember I told that girl, I said, I think I said I wanted a caramel frappuccino. Right. So I pulled up to the window. This heifer handed me some cold coffee. I said, baby, this a frappuccino? Or did I, wait a minute, hold up. I think I said it wrong. But I know, let me back up. I went to the window and I asked for a caramel frappuccino. So I come around and she gives me a cold cappuccino. And I said, baby, I said this, and I said, girl, I can't help it. I try not to do that baby stuff because whatever. But anyway, I'm from down south. It is what it is, okay? So she handed me the coffee. I said, baby, this a cappuccino? She said, this what you order? I said, no, baby, I ordered a frappuccino. A frappe. Oh, a frappe. She said, girl, pull all the way around. So I pulled all the way around. And, she gave me my food. But it was like, you could tell in her face expression, that girl finna argue me down about what a frappuccino and a cappuccino was. So I'm just like, oh, okay. So that was strike one with the frappuccino girl. Then there was strike two with the girl that was digging with doing all this, eating. Okay. So that was her. My third strike was this incident right here. But I went straight to corporate. I had already wrote them and everything. Got me the email. I told them I'm never eating at that restaurant again. I want to see, can I want to read what I had wrote them or something, but I'm scared I might mess something up. Hold on, let me pause y'all for just a second. So I'm gonna read y'all my little complaint or whatever. I got the comment email. Let them know I got it. They let me know that they got it or whatever. So I said, I arrived to pick up my order at. I didn't put the correct time though. I did put 10:59. It said once I made it to the window, no one came to the speaker to take my order. A few minutes later, I pulled up at 11:03 p.m. and the girl was counting down her register. Mind you, they were supposed to close at midnight, and there were at least 6 cars in line. Once another customer started blowing their horn, someone shut the lights off at the restaurant, and the customers left beside the car behind me. I pulled up to the second window because the girl at the register walked off. I had to knock on the window to get assistance, only to find out they could only fill part of my order because they claimed to not have any meat. So I need a small refund for a part of my order that I didn't receive. I rarely come to McDonald's because the kids that work there at night either don't care, playing around, or have an attitude problem. I don't know where the rest of the staff were or even the manager. If they set at closing time, staff shouldn't close when they feel like it, especially if it's not a storm or an emergency. I will no longer eat at this establishment. Let me tell y'all something. When it comes down to dealing with corporate, I don't really like to really just start complaining. But if I complain, it's been too much going on. It's too much I let ride. It's too much going on. It's just too much, right? Now, one thing I'm not going to tolerate is nastiness. Because if I come to your establishment, trust me, I will treat you like you dang near Jesus. I mean, really. Because I don't believe in hurting people, mistreating people. I don't believe in getting an attitude if you don't have to. Sometimes you just got to let people know, don't play with me today. And I understand that. But when it comes down to people playing with your food, I try to be as nice as possible. But one thing about it is, McDonald's has always been notorious for hiring, kids or whatever. That's fine. High school, get you, whatever. But the only issue is it seems to me noticing a pattern. If you come after 10, it's a problem. I guess that's doing shift change or whatever. I'm not really sure. But I'm sick of it. I don't care what fast food restaurant you go. If you got a bunch of kids, it's a bunch of mess. They don't care nothing about being clean. They don't care nothing about, they don't care nothing about really truly assisting anybody. It's all a game. And then it's like with me, being in small town USA, a lot of mamas get on Facebook, that fussing, ain't nobody gonna treat my child any kind of way. And these grown folk that they gonna talk to these kids, my child, any kind of way. And da 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 da. Y'all acting like y'all never been kids too. Da da da. Let me tell you something. Now the issue with that is this. Now, when they don't apply to me. But I will say that, but in defense of people who have to deal with that junk, let me explain something. Some of y'all kids is nasty at the house. And y'all know this. Y'all sit up there knowing that y'all child sit up and pick her nose before she open up the refrigerator door. Or you know that she had washed her hands and then she want to go prepare food. Well, guess what, sweetheart? Them children doing that on the job. They doing it on the job. Because when you seeing that stuff, you acting like you ain't paying no attention because you watching TV or you on the phone and you just don't flat out give a crap. And then when another adult comes along and says that's wrong and they don't play with them, it's a problem. Let's be clear. Don't nobody, your kids scratching and digging and stuff. We don't want to touch that. Just because that's your normal, that's not our normal. It's not normal. Okay, if your child want to dig in their butt, dig in their nose, and touch on stuff, and you come behind it, that's you. That's you. But there is no point in sitting up in here, going off, acting like these kids is wrong. Now, do I feel like they should be cussed out? No, I don't. I'm one of the people. I feel like when you dealing with customers, people shouldn't have to. I feel like folks shouldn't have to put up with the crazy. But some of these kids, some of these grown folks is sick of y'all's as kids' attitudes and disrespect and nastiness. Especially, mainly what I have heard is always the attitude. They don't want to be bothered. Your kids cannot treat people like this and think that they gonna get the nicest in return. Now, like I said, I don't argue with them. Or sometimes if something's wrong, I just let them know, baby, look, this ain't about you. This ain't about you. I'm just trying to get my order fixed, something like that. But I never had like a exchange or back and forth with nobody. I'm not gonna do it. I just get your job snatched. I'm not gonna do it because you don't need to be there if you're not gonna be sanitary or you're not gonna be right. People should have to keep telling you over and over. Matter of fact, I think it is mandatory for a lot of people to take safe serve anyway, so you know better. Mind you, the thing about it is, if the shoe was on the other foot and you got some child digging in her mouth and handing you your food, these same folks, if they was on the opposite side in drive-thru or in a restaurant, they go clean, smooth off. They would dang near need security to escort them same kids out. But they feel like it's okay to get on the job and be nasty. And then on top of that, if you going to dig in your mouth, which I don't condone, don't let the customer see it. Or at least be seen trying to wash your hands or clean yourself or something. But I be seeing, now there's one person. Now, the little girl, my cousin, right, that I'm about to tell you about now, and she just is nice and sweet. She not no problem. She's not a problem. She's just a little sweetie. And I think somebody had came along and got an attitude with her, and she came back and told her mama. But one thing about her mama is her mama had them hands back in the day. So, she was saying, ain't nobody gonna treat my child wrong, da da da. She was right for that. She was absolutely right for that. But when it come down to some of these kids that's, got all these foul attitudes and stuff, they gonna get told. Cause that's something you was supposed to do, and you didn't say nothing. If your child is nasty at the house, she doing it on the job. She doing what she know, or he know. Or if y'all at the job, you show up at the job, and you see your child out here playing around instead of working, say something. Say something before somebody take it to corporate. You want them to make their own money. You want them to stop asking you for stuff. Then they need to keep a job in order so they can get out your face. But in the same breath, but anyway, look, I ain't gonna go left. I could talk about that all day long. But I will say this. I will not be eating at McDonald's. I don't need the crap no way. Every now and then I try to get some or whatever. But at this point, I'm done. I can't eat that stuff. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with the children. Because I'm at the point where I'm about to start being nasty towards people. And I'd rather remove myself from a situation than to sit up here and have to go up there and whoop one of them kids and their mama too. I'm just saying. Cause you gonna do right by me, baby. You gonna do right by me, or else I'm gonna let corporate get you. Or hopefully I don't have to put it in my hand. I can just let the folks deal with you. But I'm just over this nastiness, man. What's wrong with these kids? Listen, if y'all got kids and they about to get them a job at some of these restaurants, watch them around this house. If you see they're not washing their hands, you see they're digging in their mouth and touching on something, check them. Because when they get to the job, they feel like you're wrong when you say something. Deuces.